All right, the moment has finally arrived. We are going to start addition. We're done with place value, but we're going to use what we've learned in place value and carry it into addition. Now, you're going to tell me, well, I learned how to add numbers when I was in kindergarten or first grade. Well, yes, that's true, but we're going to add in a new skill that's called regrouping. And we have to regroup through the hundreds, but today we're just going to practice the tens, and then we'll get to the hundreds later this week. Let's get started. Alright, so to practice, let's just remember the skills that we have to use with addition, because I've noticed in our classroom that some of us are adding our tens column first and then we're moving to the ones, when in fact we really need to be starting with our ones column over here. That's where we start. So if I look, I add 6 plus 2, which is 8, and then I'm going to jump over here to my tens, and I'm going to do 2 plus 1 is 3. So my total is going to be 38. Alright, that last example had no regrouping. I just wanted us to make sure that we're always starting in this ones column. Now here, we're going to have to do some regrouping, so let's work on it. If we have 26 plus 15 as our problem, let's look at how we can break that down and move through it. Let's look at some tools we can use to think about how we could regroup. Here I have 10 grains of rice, and they equal my 1 pretzel stick. Okay, so if I think about it, 1 pretzel stick is actually worth how many grains of rice? 10. Okay, so it's going to be my tens number. Okay, whereas my grains of rice, 1 is worth 1. Okay, so that's going to be my ones number. Now if I break this problem apart, 26 plus 15, into pretzels and rice to look at how I can exchange numbers, I see that here I have 26. So you can see that I have my 2 tens and then my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 grains of rice to equal my 26. Then I have my 110, which is right here, my 110, and then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 grains of rice, which is my 15. Okay, so when I put those together, I put my first thing down here where I just crammed them all together. So I wound up with my 1, 2, 3 pretzel sticks down here, and then my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 grains of rice down here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, just to show you. Okay, now if I line those up to see if I can make another pretzel and maybe exchange, because I prefer pretzel sticks as a snack to chewing on grains of rice. I don't know about you. Some of you may prefer the rice, but I'm a person who would rather have pretzel sticks. So I'm going to get as many pretzel sticks as I can. So if I can combine 10 of them, which I can because I started with 11, so I lined my 10 up right here, and then I'm going to exchange it for a pretzel stick. And then I'm just left with my 1 grain of rice. So what's my final number here equal to? Go ahead and write it on your paper. I want to know, what is that final number right there? You should have gotten 41 because I have 4 tens or 4 pretzels, and then I had my 1 leftover grain of rice. Now let's check it in our problem. Alright, like usual, I'm going to start in my ones column. So I'm going to have 6 plus 5 equals, and that's a near double, right? So if I do 5 plus 5, I get 10 plus 1 with my 6 is 11. So I'm going to put my ones number there. And when I do this algorithm, I'm going to just carry my extra 1 up there to the top. So it's my 10. I added my pretzel over here to my tens column. And now I have 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I put my 4 together, then my answer winds up being 41. It's really, really important that once you add your tens column, you add these 2 digits, you have to go back and collect that 1 extra. Okay, so that's how I got 4 instead of 3. Alright, now it's your turn to try one. I want you to try the problem 37 plus 26. I'm going to flip to a new page and I'm going to give you the opportunity to solve it. So I should see this on your WSQ, and then we're going to go through it step by step. Okay, so you're going to write your problem. You're going to have 37 plus 26. Okay, go ahead and try it. I'm going to give you a few seconds just to work through it. Okay, if at this point you're stuck, start in your ones column and then move over to your tens. All right, you should have added your 7 plus your 6, and that's in your doubles, so 6 plus 6 is 12, plus 1 more is 13. You leave your ones, your 3 and your ones, and then you're going to carry over that 10 of your 13. Then I'm going to add my 3 and my 2, which is 5, plus my last one. Do not forget that one. And I get 6. So if you got 63, hooray for you. You understand addition with regrouping. Okay, we are not quite to the point where we are ready to add and regroup in the hundreds, but I thought I'd throw out a challenge problem for those of you who think that you got this and it's totally easy. Try this one on your own, and then I will check it on your WSQs before we go over it in math, okay? So those of you who are adventurous enough, go ahead and try this problem. I'll give you a couple of seconds to write it down, and then I'm going to go on, and you can go back to it and try and solve it. So take a couple of seconds and write it down. 356 plus 754. All right, let's go on. All right, I want you to be sure that you filled out your WSQ and you're ready to use it on our first big project. I'm filming this video on Monday night. We're going to start it on Tuesday, so depending on when you get to see this, probably tomorrow, you will have already experienced some of our project, and I just want you to know that I am so excited to see what you guys come up with and how you handle our new project. But I want you to have this skill as we cruise through it. All right, I'm excited to see you all at school, and let's get going on our first big project.